what's up everyone? My name is Megan, aka Mainstream Mary Jane, and this is Knowing More for the Conscious Cannabis Consumer. Today we have a very special guest on the show, Rebecca. Thank you for being here. This is Rebecca Perrick. Rebecca, what is this, like your 600th YouTube podcast show you've done, at least in cannabis,
Maybe.
probably?
I thrive with education. If you give me a microphone, I will speak. I love to educate, even if you're not asking for it.
Rebecca, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Who are you in this industry? How long have you been in the industry?
Yeah, so I started off in healthcare until I discovered magical vape pens. I didn't understand that that was even possible, and it changed my path. I moved to Vegas about a month or two after learning about the potential in the cannabis industry. I started in healthcare, so for me it was a very big jump. And as much as I wanted to be behind the scenes of the plant, I loved working with people, products. I'm known for hosting the Women Grow events for the last few years, building networking experience to help connect others, panels, parties, speed networking. But I also founded my own company for sales, for specialty collaborations. So I work with cannabis brands and some ancillary brands as well. So I'm also working with Christy McAdams to start a global cannabis industry networking group where we take a creative spin on topics, channeling our inner superheroes for more creative marketing materials and depictions of topics that we'll be addressing in worldwide panels.
Wait, so cannabis superhero?
Cannabis superheroes.
What are you? What is your cannabis superhero name?
So I'm Rebecca, aka the collaborator, and my superpower is teamwork. So we'll be connecting. We'll have diplomats and ambassadors representing all over the world and chiming in once a month with us as we touch on topics and truly address what's going on all over the world and not just in our state.
I love that. A global cannabis perspective. They often say that Las Vegas is the window to the world of cannabis. So I think that launching that platform in this state is perfect. And I love it. And you look like a superhero, so
Once
yes.
you stand in that stance just for a few seconds with your head held high and your shoulders back, man, it changes you. You gotta channel that power and take it with you. And I think, there's a commitment to excellence. There's a standard of practice that as healthcare professionals, people hold themselves to, and as superheroes, we gotta hold ourselves to.
And how long have you been in cannabis?
So I've been about 5.5 years. I started making my own business cards that said entrepreneur, printing those out myself, networking. From there, I started doing a little bit of support for seed to sale companies, networking on their behalf, and that turned into a dream sales job, selling cannabis products. And then from there, I spoke on my first panel, and then opportunities exploded. And here I am hosting community events, regular and about to be virtually. So things are good.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you and your knowledge. So for today's topic, we are going to discuss unique ways to consume cannabis. So most of us out there, obviously we know what flower is, right? We probably know what vape sticks are in this day and age, right? Especially after that vape crisis. We probably know what concentrates are for the most part. If you don't, we're gonna have another episode focusing on them more soon. But we're gonna talk about very unique methods. So what is one of the most unique ways that you have consumed cannabis?
There are so many ways. I'd say it's a toss-up between transdermal technology, patches that go through your skin to your bloodstream, to the blood-brain barrier, and send cannabis into your circulation. Between that, it's a toss-up between that and cannabis lubrication products. Because anywhere you can absorb something, you can absorb cannabis, and the channel that it goes into plays a huge role in the high. Eating it, smoking it, vaping it, they're all different experiences. And I don't think people have really wrapped their minds around the innovation that's coming in cannabis and how many things we can infuse.
No, absolutely. There are many methods of consumption out there. One thing that I think people don't understand enough, or what that shocked me about joining this industry, is that sublingually, you actually absorb it very quickly and you don't have to deal with the smoking of, which is also a fast rate of absorption, but some people are concerned about the smoke, which I understand. There's butane in lighters and things of this nature. So we're gonna talk about a couple specific products out in the market today, at least in Nevada. One product that I wanted to make sure that consumers knew about, because I knew about hash oil before joining this industry, but I didn't really know about RSO in particular,
no,
right?
I think I understood the concept of concentrates. You apply temperature and pressure and you get a concentrated version of cannabis, but I had no idea what was possible.
So here's an example of RSO. This is Cannavative's RSO. And one method that's unique about this product is the fact that it is a click measured dose hardware. So 1 click, you're gonna get 0.2 milligrams of product. This is fake product, you guys, don't judge it. And so you actually have a measured dose. You're actually able to understand, how much you're consuming in one setting. You can eat this. You can apply it topically to your skin. Why you can eat this and you can't eat flour and get high, because I've tried, is that it is decarboxylated. So you're taking the THCA molecule and you're taking off the carbon so that it actually can combine with your own endocannabinoid system, and that's where you feel the effects. So it's a full plant extract. That means we're taking the entire plant, all of the terpenes that we don't even know about yet necessarily, and taking out the lipids, the water-soluble molecules that you don't necessarily need to consume, and it's just a concentrated form of pure cannabinoids and terpenoids.
There's so many benefits to having the full profile of the plant. Often we will concentrate product and you cook out some of the personality of the plant with some techniques. When you apply heat and pressure to get the THC, to get a really rich infused product, sometimes you're cooking out the personality of the strain. So what you guys are able to do to preserve the quality of the plant and really enhance the entourage effect is beautiful, because you don't just get the entourage effect from CBD and THC absorbing together. You get it with the flavonoids, the cannabinoids, the plant matter. You really get the combination of materials working together for stronger uptake. It's never just what's in the package, it's how your body absorbs it. And what you're doing is it's a phenomenal product. It hits completely differently and more therapeutically than just being blasted with a THC vape. It's so different.
I mean, they do say one rule with RSO is that the darker the color, they consider it the more quality of the product. So you do want to look for a darker color of RSO. And also, if you don't like the flavor because it's not great, inject it into a gummy. Yes. It doesn't even have to be a medicated gummy. It can just be a regular gummy. It's delicious.
We actually, this
it's
summer...
It's like a weed gusher.
Oh my goodness, yes. That's all you have to say. I'm definitely trying that. We cooked it into frosting for Mother's Day. We made cupcakes we did a Women Grow takeover on their Instagram. And when we went on, we featured Cannavative, and we had so much fun cooking with the product. And it really all came down to safe dosing. Hearing those clicks, knowing exactly how much is going in the product is what made me feel safe to consume it. Because you want to be mindful when you're buying edibles. When you're getting any product, dosing is so important, especially when something is that potent. 1 click too much is noticeable. If you're dosing properly, you can adjust that and take that into account. Sometimes when we make our own edibles, it's a hot spot in the pan. The left side of the pan is really potent. The right side might not be, as even. You may get really high from one piece and not enough of a high from the other piece. So when you're buying products that are already infused, that safety and homogeneity is taken into account. But when you're cooking at home, it's really important to understand your dosing and how to truly mix it up so that it's evenly dispersed. And the RSO is one of my favorite recipes.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, so tell me about some of these products you brought over here for us today. What's going on over there?
So I wanted to talk, it's interesting that you mentioned saliva-based absorption, because we have mucosal absorption in the body. Obviously, there are not products for every single method yet. One of the more popular ones is under the tongue, for underlingual, under the tongue itself. So you put cannabis products, typically tinctures that are already, again, activated, because when it is activated, that's when you can absorb the THC. When it's not activated as plant matter, you're just eating it, you're not absorbing the THC and the psychoactive ingredients. But when you leave it under your tongue, in your mouth, it's a different kind of high and experience and timetable that you're waiting on to feel the high than an edible. So with that, you have absorption through the saliva in the mouth, but for females in the lower body, there's also absorption. So I thought it would be fun to bring a cannabis lubrication product.
That is what's fun about you, yes.
I love to talk about cannabis and sex because we have mucosal absorption. And when you have more blood flow, when you have cannabis, whether it's a one-to-one product, hemp, or THC, when you have that in a lubrication, you're stimulating the area. You want to try it? You're stimulating the area, so you're getting more oxygen to your tissues. You're getting more blood flow, more sensation, more moisture, more pleasure. And it's,
very nice.
Very viscous texture. So this is one, I've gone to quite a few expos before things slowed down for the pandemic, and I always hang on to the most unique products. I'm a collector of sorts, and this really opened my eyes to what is possible in cannabis. the way this hemptation lubrication product exists, so does this rose ivy product. It's similar, but it's more of a suppository approach that you would put in that channel. But
Weed suppositories. That's right.
Sometimes you need to send treatment right to the spot. If you have pain, say you bumped your elbow, yes, you can take a tincture like a multivitamin and send healing, but rub some topical on that elbow too. Sometimes if you're having problems, send treatment right to the area. So the way that you can absorb through saliva and mucosal absorption up here, for females, our lower body can absorb cannabis too and help people not just to experience pain, but enhance pleasure. And suppositories are great for both genders and both locations.
Oh yes.
Wherever you need to send the cannabis to, you want to find a safe method to do so. But it's not the same high. Where you absorb the cannabis plays a huge role. So if I had a cannabis suppository, that would be very different than smoking a joint. The way that stepping into a bathtub full of cannabis doesn't give you the giggles, it relaxes you. Every type of product is different. So the same strain in a vape will be different than the same strain as a flower, let alone cooking it into an edible. And those can be very strong.
Consumption methodologies do make a difference in how you feel. It's a common misconception, and I didn't know this either. You can't actually get high from rubbing a product like this. This is Mary Jane's Medicinals. They are a Colorado brand that is about to launch in Nevada. And it's got 500 milligrams of THC, 500 milligrams of CBD. So it is a THC salve. However, you can rub this on your skin. You're not gonna get high off of it. I mean,
Sneak peek product before it launches.
Please, yes. So, but it is a very nice product. Yes, it's got shea butter, grapeseed oil, great for the skin, but you're not gonna get high, but you're gonna get some benefits from it.
And salves are a phenomenal texture. You wanna be mindful. There are so many types of topicals. You can have oils, lotions, creams, salves. So you wanna be mindful too. A salve is viscous. So that is great when someone is applying a pain relief massage because they don't have to keep adding more. So it's great to have something that continues to stay lubricated. That way you can keep going with the massage. Sometimes if you use a lotion, you just have to keep pouring lotion on and on and on for a massage. But a salve, your hands will slide. Therapists love salves.
Awesome. Yeah. So you've got another transdermal?
I do. So there's topicals and there's transdermals. So topicals, you have 7 layers of skin, of dermis, and the products are going into the skin, but not through the skin. With something like a transdermal patch, granted I brought a CBD one, you can actually have CBD or THC or different proportions and combinations of both in a patch. So this you put on your skin. Typically you put it on thinner areas of skin so it can get through a little bit easier. So sometimes you see people do something by the wrist, but you want to put them on the more delicate areas of your body. It's never just what you're using, it's how you absorb it. And thin skin makes it easier for it to go through into the body, into the circulation, into the bloodstream, and send relief everywhere. You'll of course feel the effects and the relief close to the patch, but a properly made patch will truly send relief flowing through your whole body. So cannabis going through the body, through the skin, into the bloodstream. People are used to topicals, but they don't get you high. A transdermal can get you high. So the relief isn't just localized to one spot. Topicals are phenomenal because you rub it right on the affected area and you get that almost immediate localized relief. But something like a transdermal patch, if you have foot pain, you can put a transdermal patch on your wrist and it will flow through your body to the foot and back, and it'll last for many, many hours depending on the brand and the technology. It's really exciting. There are quite a few brands out there that are doing this, but Mary's is one of my favorites. They used to sponsor some of our events before we slowed down for the pandemic, and they have phenomenal topicals, transdermals, oils, but I'm really excited for this Mary Jane's Medicinals. My hands smell fabulous.
Yes, it is. It smells amazing. So besides just topical methods and these random suppository methods, some people might just want a simple, basic method of consumption that you're kind of used to. Maybe you've gone and you've taken your vitamins, you've swallowed a pill that your doctor has given you before. So we actually have at Cannavative, we have capsules. Basic, they're not sexy, not as sexy as the lube, but they are very effective. So each of these little capsules, you just swallow it like you would anything else. It has 10 milligrams of THC in each one. And we have them in sativa and indica form, so you can kind of have your daytime high, your nighttime high, and mix them in between. But no, it's just another method of consumption that I think people don't really realize is out there for you if you want. So that's why I wanted to kind of talk about, I love the smoking flower also, but sometimes that's not available. And also talk about discreet, like you can take this literally anywhere.
Something like this too, I think, is a logical next step as, cannabis and pharmaceuticals combine. When, as healthcare professionals, we realize that, you're used to taking an actual medication that has a dosage and a frequency. When they prescribe something, they're telling you to take this much of something this many times a day for this many days. They're prescribing you an intensity and a duration of a treatment. In cannabis, you can't just take 3 medium puffs. It doesn't work like that. But what you're able to provide in a pill is so valuable for people who need true dosing methods.
Right.
Whether you're clicking the RSO or whether you're popping out just 1 pill or 2 pills at a time, every person has their own tolerance and their own, potency, that level that they're looking for, and you know exactly how much you consume. When I hit a joint, I can guesstimate kind of medium high. That's,
Higher, highest.
And then there's, but with pills, you have that predictability, that regularity, and of course that discretion for someone who does not want to smell like cannabis at the time that they consume.
Absolutely. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate you being on the show this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. This has been a delight. Definitely tune in. You can find me on Instagram at @Perrick. You can find me all over the cannabis industry. We'll be hosting our Lady-Led Luncheon, celebrating a week of women from April 19th to April 23rd. We'll also be going live for our GCING, channeling our inner cannabis superheroes for a global networking community that will launch a little bit closer to May. And myself, you can find me at @Perrick Instagram, as well as some of the brands that I support, especially Cannabella, who is my infused partner in the market in Las Vegas. We have healthy, vegan, organic edibles, something a little bit different with vitamins, nutrients, minerals. We actually inject fruit with distillate and dry it out. So if you're looking for a healthy edible,
I can't wait.
You gotta try it. So you can find me all over town, or you can find me upside down on a hammock. I'm an aerial yoga instructor too, so please.
She's everywhere.
I am everywhere, but all the things I'm connected to, you can always find me at my own hub at @Perrick. You can private message me, that will go directly to me, and depending on how you want to collaborate, we can take it from there.
Awesome, and to find more information about me, I'm Megan, aka Mainstream Mary Jane on Instagram. This is Knowing More for the conscious cannabis consumer, and check out Cannavativegroup.com for more information on this podcast and everything Cannavative. Thank you.